So, procrastination. I mean, we're all guilty of it, right? We've put off a project, we've avoided tasks, telling ourselves we'll do it tomorrow. But I bet I've got you beat. I've been procrastinating for decades. Let me rewind. It's 1994. I just got my first PC, a hand-me-down 486, and with that I got a game called Little Big Adventure. And for the first time I had an interactive experience. I'd played games before, Super Mario, Prince of Persia, Shuffle Puck, but this was the first time that I actually felt like I was playing the main character. Then 5 years later, Urban Chaos and Omicron the Nomad Soul just blew my mind. You had these open worlds with weird stories and characters that at the time felt alive. And for the first time I thought, what if I could do that? Then, years later, World of Warcraft came along. I started at the tail end of Wrath of the Lich King, and I created my first character, a human hunter. So I take this level 1 hunter into the Red Ridge Mountains, level 15 to 20 zone. And the first thing that happens is I'm ambushed by a tarantula and I get my ass handed to me. And instead of getting angry, I kind of love the experience. I realized that in games, the fun is in getting lost, in not knowing what the hell's going on around you, in the exploration and the unknown. Fast forward to today, and I'm working on Dawnspark, a game about exploring a colorful and stylized world where things just aren't quite what they seem, and a story that's much darker than the graphics initially make you believe. I've been working on it for too long to keep it all under wraps, but I've been terrified of sharing it with the world. Not because I'm scared of failing, that's not it. It's, what if I succeed? When I first started working on Dawnspark, I knew I wanted something fun and colorful. I knew I wanted a fun world to explore and maybe some light platforming mechanics. I had the mechanics, I had the story that was inspired by fairy tales from Grimm and Anderson, and it was fun, but something was missing. Something was just off. So, back to the drawing board, I had to figure out what it was that I was missing. And I realized that it was emotional damage, or rather emotional engagement to hook the player in. Maybe some late game twist for shock value. And now it's a world where everything feels familiar, but something just isn't quite right. It's about a character, Liam, who is not just on a quest, but he's looking for something that he can't quite name. And that's purposeful. So, how, then, does this tie into procrastination? Well, Dawnspark is a deeply personal project for me. It's essentially a piece of my soul that I'm putting in there. It is part of my history that I'm about to share with the world, and I'm excited about that. Yet, somehow, somewhere, something is telling me not to. Now, the story will always be mine, and I'll always be proud of any game that I'll release, as you should be too. Any post-release negativity can't take that away from you. But success is what truly scares me. Success breeds expectations that you might not be able to live up to. It gets you compliments and praise, which in my case is really awkward, because my imposter syndrome just goes, thanks, it's okay, I guess. So I've been subconsciously sabotaging my own efforts to get the Steam page live. Screenshots? Nah, the world isn't quite fleshed out yet. Trailer? No, we can't do that because we don't have all the enemies and all the NPCs in place. I know I'm procrastinating, but knowing doesn't make it any easier to stop. So why then do I sabotage myself into putting things off until later? I'm a perfectionist, but games are never going to be perfect. And I don't think anybody expects perfection. I think people expect real stories made by real and flawed people who are just really passionate about the games they create. And then, post-release, what if people like it? Or worse, what if they love it? Then what? Then you have to live up to that. Then you have to make another game and another. And what if you can't? What if that one idea, Dawnspark for me, what if that's the only good idea you can ever come up with? That is a crippling sort of fear. And that's the thing about potential success. It's not the praise that scares me. It's the pressure that comes after. The pressure to be that person, the person that made that game. The person who has all the answers to all the questions as to what's next. And I don't have the answers. I'm just a flawed person who's passionate about his little game project. And maybe that's enough. Don't get me wrong though, I'm not expecting success, and I don't think any of us should. It's a brutally competitive market out there, but it's one of the factors that makes me put things off. Now, there's one other thing that stops me. Something I really, really, really hate. Marketing. It feels so insincere, like you have this look at me attitude.
He said while uploading videos on YouTube.
But it's part of releasing your game to an audience larger than those two friends who will play it just to make you happy and go, good job, little buddy. Now, deep down, I know marketing is not begging for attention. It's just about finding the people who connect with your game. People who care what you're trying to say through your art and your stories and your mechanics. The ones who will play your game not because they have to, but because it speaks to them. And yeah, that too is terrifying, because what if those people don't exist? Look, I'd be happy if just 2 people played Dawnspark, as long as they're not just my friends pretending to like it. Oh, and if you're curious about Dawnspark, I might just be pressing that Publish Now button soon. Can't make any promises, but if you want to keep up to date, then you know what to do. Truth is, I do want more people to see it. I do want more people to be aware of it. And I do want it to matter. And that's also what makes me freeze. I'm basically a deer in headlights at this point, so screw it. I'm gonna upload those screenshots anyway, and I'm gonna learn how to use the sequencer to get shots for a 30 to 45 second trailer for my Steam page. And it's not because I'm brave, I'm a wuss, but I am tired of being that deer in headlights. And maybe no one will care, maybe they will, but I won't know until I try, and neither will you. So I'm curious, what are you working on? What are you putting off because of fear or perfectionism or annoyance? Let me know down below. See you later.